Data mine leaks for new class, Engineer slash Tech Marine, and Chaos Enemy Vortex Beast. What are your thoughts? These are leaks, so take this with a pinch of salt. Let's hope they are true. Yeah, I agree. So I assume Engineer is basically the class title. Yeah, I guess the Tech Marine is what it's called, like on tabletop. So in the game, Engineer does kind of make sense. With these leaks, it seems like this is his weapon setup. All right, Engineer locks primary weapon, auto bolt rifle. Level up your auto bolt rifle. Heavy bolt rifle. Wow, okay. That looks really good. Oculus and plasma. Very nice. Very nice weapon setup for primaries. Holy cow, that's pretty strong, actually. Yeah, heavy bolt rifle. Very happy to see that. I honestly thought Tech Marine was going to be stuck with just pistols, but okay, let's continue. Secondary weapons, plasma, inferno. Definitely like seeing the inferno pistol. Melee weapons, power axe, power halberd. What? So this is how they're going to introduce new melee weapons? They're going to introduce two? We're getting... Wait, hold on. There's no... Wait, what? Okay, so you're telling me that if we get this new class, it's going to introduce two new melee weapons into the game? Let's hope so. I agree. Let's take this with a pinch of salt because I'm getting a little bit too excited. Holy cow. Also, by the way, halberd, heavy bolt rifle, inferno pistol. Yeah, this could be my new main class. This could be my new main class. Wow, it's going to be a pain trying to level this up in operations. You are not going to be able to find a game. It's going to take a little bit to find somebody in operations. But still, you can always, just run. You can just run, some solos. I guess, you know what? I guess the matchmaker itself is going to be pretty wild regardless because of, yeah, everyone's going to be queuing in with the same character. So... Let's see how that's gonna work out. That's gonna be rough, man. I'm excited for it though. Power halberd, obviously something that I am definitely looking forward to. This class, as from what I'm seeing, apparently also the other leaks showed that it has like a shoulder turret, maybe. If that's the case, definitely going to be a very good character. Power halberd, I gotta admit, dude, that's amazing. Very, very sick. Hopefully other classes get it. I kind of want to see a model of it, but we'll get to that point. And yes, this is the new Chaos Enemy, Vortex Beast. This thing looks very scary. It looks very fast. I imagine it's going to be very fast. It will be running directly at us. It's probably going to have projectiles. This is rough. This seems like it could be very scary. It looks like it's very scary. I will admit, I'm not too sure what this is supposed to be, but this potentially could be its weak spot for maybe a charge attack. Maybe it kind of sits down, charges something, and you can kind of see these two have like the same colors. So maybe, yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't know what to expect from this thing. I've seen pictures of this on the tabletop, and it looks very, very dangerous. I can imagine though, this is going to be a pain to deal with. It should, dude, honestly, Chaos needed a new enemy. Something like this, I think, is going to be great to see. That's gonna scare us. I could see this thing jump scaring me, around a corner or something. Yeah, also two tails. Very cool. Yeah, very ugly, very cool, very scary. I definitely want to fight it, but I can imagine getting frustrated about it. But yeah, let's go in the comments. Let's see if anyone has any details about the Vortex Beast. As far as the Tech Marine, this is just, I'm super hyped. You don't need to, I honestly do not need to be sold on this class any longer. Power halberd, power axe, heavy bolt rifle. Yep, this is a good class to add into the game. I'm hoping they will still add the grav pistol, and it seems weird that they don't have access to a standard bolt pistol. I'm assuming it's an incomplete list. All right, I guess that's a fair point about the bolt pistol. If they added a new pistol to the game after adding what, the Neovolkite and the Inferno pistol, if we had another pistol added, I think people would actually start to freak out. But you can imagine there's probably a lot of pistols in the tabletop version of the game because of the melee and ranged capabilities of the army. But the grav pistol, I have to admit, does sound cool. I would like to see that. But yeah, let's see some of these melee weapons first. If they add in a new class before they add in a new weapon, that is going to be very interesting. I think this is the way to do it. However, you know what? I can imagine them adding the axe and then adding the Tech Marine. I think that's probably how it's going to work out. Or the Engineer. Thank God the Vortex Beast is finally getting some love. I really like that model. I have zero knowledge on the lore of it. All right, yeah, I'm in the same boat. So hopefully we get some very interesting and, you know, some very helpful lore bits about this enemy below in the comments. Mudalith, I. Horror Specs, I. Oh, Mudalith, kiss me, you fool. Jesus Christ, how horrifying. Double Heresy, yeah. Honestly, happy they're finally putting another class into the game. Won't lie, disappointed it isn't an apothecary, but glad either way. We're nearing 1 year full development, seeing some actual major updates like this, and siege mode. I mean, yeah, it is probably going to take a bit to see the new class. I assume the new class is going to be something that might be, maybe patch 10, maybe. I'm not too sure how this is going to work because honestly, I know we have patch 9. Maybe patch 9, we could see a new operation, maybe a new melee weapon. Then patch 10, which would be the beginning of 2026, I believe, around that area. I mean, I guess what is it? June, July, August. So boom, August, September. Hey, we might actually see 2 patches by the end of the year. That's interesting. Yeah, I would definitely like to see an apothecary at one point. At this point, I don't want to glaze or anything, but at this point, if an apothecary is added into the game, I wouldn't be surprised. I would be disappointed if I didn't see it, but I think the devs can pull it off. I would hope to see it eventually. I think an apothecary into the game would be an excellent way to see combat through a different scope, in a sense where you're actually a support class. So, you know, you're more concerned about supporting your team hopefully with options of support. But again, I'm just kind of imagining. And I could imagine the devs adding an apothecary in the game at one point. But for now, I'm getting a little bit hyped up on engineer/tech marine. Still funny, they were so desperate to fill out the Thousand Suns Codex that they threw a random fantasy monster in. Alright, I just wanted to read this comment because I thought it was funny. I think this guy's trying to be like, hey, this is bad type thing, but it's kind of funny. A lot of people, you know, corrected him. They said Vortex Beasts do exist in 40k. That's a Mudalith Vortex Beast, bruh. This is... Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, honestly, we do need more enemies for Thousand Suns, but yeah, they're not going to just make up something to just put in the game. That's wild. You'll be happy to know someone found this in the files. Yes, apparently somebody found the halberd. I guess this is the halberd. Apparently this is the model for it. And I imagine this could be, you know, engineer/tech marine exclusive. But as we've seen recently, they really don't mind to just throw the Thunderhammer to the bulwark sometimes. So maybe we will see somebody else be able to use the halberd here, the power halberd, I guess. That'd be interesting. I mean, honestly, yeah. See, here's the thing. I can't really imagine how they're gonna wield this. It does feel like it's gonna be one-handed because the power axe should be one-handed, and not to mention they also have the heavy bolt rifle, so they have two-handed weaponry as far as their rifle goes. So if it is like a one-handed, you know, use type weapon. Oh, this is interesting. This is interesting. I mean, I honestly don't really know what to expect because, like, you can't really give somebody who has a Thunderhammer, you can't really give them a two-handed weapon without it looking weird to just pull out the Thunderhammer out of nowhere, you know. But I mean, technically the tactical, doesn't he do that with the chainsword when he's using like the heavy bolt rifle? So I don't know. I think it would be very nice to see the power halberd on some different classes. This is a good model for it. I do think it looks very cool. Yeah, the engineer is potentially going to be one of my favorite classes of the game just because of this weapon alone. So hopefully this weapon is good. Yeah, it's gonna be fun to see what the devs have in store for us coming down the line of this year. I do expect to see the axe a little bit before the Tech Marine though. I just think that would make more sense. But yeah, this is a good model. This is definitely a good model. I want to use this weapon, and yeah, I'm a little bit confused on how it's going to operate, because if it's a one-handed weapon, then I'd also hope to see that on more classes. And yeah, they do have a heavy bolt rifle, so I don't know. Maybe the assault class will get a bolt rifle. Who knows? Maybe. Maybe. Don't hold me to that. By the way, all these are leaks. We've been covering a lot of leaks recently, so I just want to make sure that, I reiterate that these aren't confirmed and, don't get too hyped, but I'm pretty hyped. I'm always going to be hyped, to be honest. When it comes down to this game, whenever I see improvements, I'm definitely looking forward to it because, honestly, so far from what I've played with Siege Mode, this game is definitely going to feel like there is a lot of stuff to do. And, yeah, I'm excited for whenever they put in more content. New class, new Siege Mode. Yeah, definitely some good stuff to look forward to.